Konami has been known to censor almost every religious reference possible when translating Yu-Gi-Oh cards from the OCG over to the TCG. Symbolisms such as crosses, pentagrams, and the like were either replaced or completely removed from card artwork. This makes the inclusion of Saint Joan of Arc on 4 separate cards a very strange exclusion to this policy. Joan of Arc, claiming to have been acting under divine guidance from the heavens, became known for the role she played in the Siege of Orleans, an important turning point in the 100 Years' War between France and England. In the years following, she would serve as a tremendous boost to French morale throughout many battles, becoming a military leader who transcended conventional gender roles. Joan was eventually captured during the Siege of Compiègne by the Burgundian military. The Duke of Burgundy would then strike a deal with the English, transferring the imprisoned Joan to their control. The English would put Joan on trial for many crimes, a few of which being heresy, blasphemy for having worn men's clothing, referring to the knight's armor that she wore into battle, and acting upon demonic visions. Throughout the trial, Joan acted with great poise and self-control. However, the threat she posed to the English regime meant that this trial already had a foregone conclusion. In the end, Joan would be tied to a plaster pillar meant for execution by burning, her final request being that she be able to view a cross as she died. This request was granted, and she was burned, her remains cast into the Seine River. The first time she was referenced in Yu-Gi-Oh was with the card Saint Joan from Labyrinth of Nightmare. The Joan on this card is depicted in a similar way to historical paintings of the real person, suited up in traditional knight's armor with short cropped hair to fit in with the army. There's even a cross formed in the background of the artwork by the teal light. The fusion materials required to make her also are historical references. The Forgiving Maiden links to her nickname, the Maiden of Orleans, while Dark Lord Mary hints at the banner she carried into battle containing the names of Jesus and Mary. She is referenced a second time with the release of Guardian Angel Joan in Dark Revelation Volume 2. This artwork appears to be Joan after having met her demise and shares the stats of Saint Joan. Then came Noble Knight Joan and Cosmo Blazer. The imagery here is very similar to the previous iterations. She is shown clad in shining armor, this time wearing a helmet as well. She is also surrounded by the fleur-de-lis, a symbol of her French nationality. This monster can also be seen in the trap card Pennant of Revolution, carrying a banner as she leads an army into battle. It's also an interesting inclusion that this monster has 1900 attack, and Joan is believed to have been executed at the age of 19. The final time she is referenced is with DDD Oracle King Dark. This monster shares stats with both Saint Joan and Guardian Angel Joan, as well as having an effect very similar to the latter. In appearance, Dark wears a similar hairstyle and armor to Saint Joan. Lastly, this card's name, Dark, is a clever merging of the word dark referring to her attribute while being spelled the way her name would be in French, Jeanne d'Arc. What reason do you think Konami could have for leaving all these references to such a brutal story into this card game when they're so unwilling to leave a cross in a cemetery on Foolish Burial? Leave your thoughts down below and subscribe if you want to hear more Yu-Gi-Oh lore.